This is why it is so important to know who you are marrying. Piers Morgan storms off his own show after manosphere influencers' crude remarks about his own wife. Yep, you heard me right. He stormed off. Piers Morgan, the one who can actually give a lot and presumably take a lot, couldn't take it when his wife was in question.
I'm here.
All right, we're switching.
Yeah.
Free.
Can you hear me, Harrison?
All right, this
Yeah,
is
I
them
can
like
hear you,
starting
but my
it
mic
and
is-
figuring out stuff.
Filled a very real vacuum of male.
The only reason I went forward is because just you cannot see Morgan right now. You will see him later when he switches, I guess, the camera. But he's just introducing the person he is having as a guest today.
Role models. They've given many young men an outlet for their frustrations about a culture which they think talks them down and blames them for everything, even as they become poorer, lonelier, dumber by every available measure. In my view, the likes of Andrew Tate have not always wielded their huge influence responsibly. I've told him that
He
to
compared
his
them to
face
Andrew
multiple
Tate.
times.
Yeah.
Comment deny,
Ignoring
Harrison.
the real problems they've exploited. Louis Theroux's new documentary, Inside the Manosphere on Netflix, puts a different spin on things. Many believe it's a cultural watershed. Instead of the brainstorming hubris and bullish ambition we've come to expect, the stars of the show are depicted as shallow, insincere money grabbers whose only real motivation seems to be social media clout. There's no doubt that many young men find all these people highly entertaining. That's Harrison Sullivan, better known as HS Tiki-Toki, who joins me now.
Hello, Piers.
What do I call you? Do I call you Harrison? Do I call you HS? Do I call you Tiki-Toki? What do I
You
call
can
you?
call me anything, whatever you'd like. Harrison, HS, whatever you feel more comfortable with, Piers.
Let me call you Harrison, because your mother calls you Harrison, right?
Yes.
So look, I'll be
That
honest.
was like, why would he even say that? Your mother calls you Harrison. Like, okay, fine. A bit intimate, a bit more private info, kinda. Like, also sounds like you are undermining it, but fine, whatever. Call me what my mom is calling me, I guess.
I didn't know who you were until about 2 weeks ago. When I was
Piers,
reading
Piers, sorry, I'd really like to see your beautiful face while I'm talking to you. I can't see you.
Okay.
Don't worry,
I'll
try and
see
fix
your
it.
face, so we're good. We'll try and fix it so you can also see mine.
Harrison, can you hear me? You should be able to see Piers.
I mean, I can see a picture of him, but not his. I can see a picture of him, but not him
That
live.
will Piers when we cut the feed to live.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, coming back to you now.
Cool.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, and I can see you.
Kawaf is like, your beautiful face. No, because like if you are talking to someone, it is very important to see their expressions, and also it is easier to have a conversation when you know that they stop talking or they're going to continue talking or they are asking you a question and they're finished with the question. Like, it is very important to see someone when you are having an interview with them.
I can't hear you now, bro. This is really amateur. I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now or not?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right,
This
let's
is
just
really
pick it up.
amateur.
I'm just curious why you did the show. Did you not know Louis Theroux? Did you think it would be something else? Are you
Theroux.
pleased with the way you came over?
So I had no idea who Louis Theroux was. The morning that he was coming round, I had some of my team come to me and go, "Oh, do you realize what this is? Do you realize who he is?" I wasn't asked, and I'm still not bothered about it. You know, some people might think it was a mistake going on. Me, I thought it was a very, very fun experience.
And when I was watching the Netflix show, I was just curious what you want that influence to be. Right? Because your mother's in the show, and we'll come to quite an amusing clip where she talks
interesting.
about me, actually. She doesn't want you to do this interview, I think, was the bottom line. So you're defying your mother again, and we'll come to that.
Again?
But your mother's, you know,
How many times did your mom not wanting you to do something, but you still decided as a grown-ass person to do it yourself? Yeah, she might not be proud with every decision that you make, but it's not her calling after all. She can say it, but it doesn't mean that you're going to be doing it.
I was watching her, and I was watching you interact with them. I actually knew your father a bit back in the 90s. Victor Abugu, who was an England rugby player. Met him a few
Your
times,
friends?
liked him. And we can come to that as well. You know, and I'm just curious how somebody whose mum is like that, whose dad was like he was when I knew him, how somebody ends up thinking that the key to life, that the joy of life, the satisfaction of life, comes from rage baiting people in their DMs rather than something a little bit more, I hesitate to use words where your fan base will go, oh, shut up, granddad, you don't get it. But is there not more to life to be achieved than rage baiting morons in their DMs?
Okay, I'm glad you called them morons, because that is the idiots that I've attracted from the mainstream coverage with the documentary. But
like, at the end of the day, HS or Harrison, he is very young, and this is his life journey right now, and this is where he is, and this is how he thinks. And I'm not saying I approve 100%, but this is what he thinks is his calling, and this is what he's doing right now. It makes him happy. Yeah, it's all right that Piers is trying to call it out and say that it is not something that the parents would be proud of doing. How are you, like, did you ever think about it? And I would like to hear his answer, which we are gonna be hearing, but at the same time, I don't think that will really help him shift and change. I think there needs to be a bit more into it.
There's a lot more to life. For me, the main thing in life is making money, being healthy, and enjoying that money with my family and having great experiences. The experiences that I have now, since I've come back for Mother's Day, whatever, with my mum in the last...
So he was with his mom on Mother's Day. I call that a win. I call that a great thing.
5-6 years since I've been on social media have been great. And they're the things that I'll be looking back on when I'm 60, 70 years old. The nice dinners, the nice weather, just the nice times that I've shared. So I don't think the beauty of life is rage baiting retards in my comments. But when I'm sat there and
what do you actually want your younger male followers to end up being like? It's a genuine question. In the Netflix show, what I saw was a guy who says, look, on the one hand, if I had a daughter who did OnlyFans, I'd disown her. And yet you are directly involved in promoting a load of women who are on OnlyFans, right?
You're a smart man, right? You wouldn't be in this position if you weren't a smart man. You can answer that question yourself. You know exactly why I'm promoting girls. I'm not even actively promoting any right now, but you know exactly why I'm doing it. You don't need to ask me that question. There you go. So why are you asking a question you already know?
No, I'm not.
It's a very, very easy answer.
You're missing my point, Harrison. I'm not disputing that you are making money, or you're perfectly entitled to. I'm just curious why you would want to send a message to young men you're trying to be influential over, to the extent where you want them to part with money to be like you. And on the one hand, your message is OnlyFans is awful, these girls that do it are awful. But on the other hand, you're making money promoting them. It's hypocritical.
Look,
he is giving them the information, and he is sharing from both sides. He is making money while also advising them. At the end of the day, it's on these men to think with their own head and find their own truth.
I think OnlyFans girls can do what they want, I'm not bothered. It's the same way I think people can be gay if they want. I'm not bothered. When it comes into my family, where I have control over the situation, that's where I'll dictate what happens. So it's a very valid point that I don't want my daughter to be on OnlyFans. I don't want my daughter to be in the red light district in Amsterdam. But if I went to Amsterdam and I was walking down and I saw a Colombian 9 out of 10, would I go in and visit? Well, depends how many drinks I'd had that night. But that doesn't mean I necessarily agree with it or would like that girl to be my daughter or would raise my daughter like that. Makes perfect sense.
And if you had a son who turned out to be gay, you would disown him, you said.
No, my actual life ambition, right, genuinely since young, is to grow up, make money, retire my mum, meet a nice girl from a good family, then have a gay child who fucks other guys. That's what I want. So I genuinely want that. I also want him to go out on the weekend and put makeup on. And
you see how everything he said until the gay remark kind of was so natural and accepted and was everybody wants that. And then when he mentioned that, it's not like people are going out there and saying, I want that. I want to have a gay son. I want to have a son who puts makeup on and goes out. But If they have a gay son, it's different. If that happens, they will find a way to accept that person because that's their son. That's who they love. But it doesn't mean that necessarily you want that, right? Like, it's not also an easy life to be gay. So you don't want them to have a difficult life. It's not only that you are maybe disgusted by it or something like that, but I'm saying that it's not something that people wish, especially parents, wish upon their children.
It's okay.
Dance
I know
around
what you-
in the gay strips.
Listen,
No, I want
I
that.
can hear your fan base cheering you on. I know what you're doing. It's the double down, treble down. In fact, I saw some of your posts on social media before you did this interview. I'm going to own everything. I'm going to double down.
Oh.
I'm going to play that game. Fuentes did that a bit with me. And you know what I think?
Do you know
It's
what?
like-
Because he
There's
knows
not a game.
who's strong.
There's
by
not
the
a
way,
game.
by the way, I'm not your bro, Harrison. Call me Piers. I'll call you.
What, you don't want to be my bro?
I
don't think we'll be friends?
I don't really want to be your bro, mainly because I have two bros of my own. One of whom was an
Oh.
army colonel, and one of whom is an excellent man as well. However,
It's a shame.
let me just ask you what you said in the documentary. You clearly actually would, by your own admission, disown a son who said they were gay. And yet your mother, you said, hates people that are racist, sexist, homophobic, and so on. Why be
Everybody
so brazenly homophobic if your own mother, who you clearly love and respect,
So now he called him homophobic, by the way. He's sitting right there calling him homophobic, even though the guy just said what he clearly would not like to happen. Doesn't mean that he's homophobic. By the way, when you put such titles on a person, like, you look at it from a broader sense. If you call someone homophobic, usually it means that that person really hates gays and doesn't wish them any rights, and literally that's what it entitles. So it's not nice. It's not nice at all.
and care about, if she's so against that, why would you be so happy to be brazenly homophobic?
I wouldn't say I'm homophobic.
You would disown a child for being gay. That's about as homophobic as it gets.
He didn't even say
That's
that.
your opinion, and in my opinion, that's
Not
not
an opinion, it's a
homophobic.
fact of what homophobia is.
No.
Okay.
What do you think homophobia is?
I think homophobia would be severely discriminating against gays. And I think
Exactly.
that,
Just
maybe
because you have a preference and you would not like something doesn't make you homophobic.
going around and bullying them or whatever
Bullying
could be
them,
considered
exactly.
homophobic.
You don't think
I don't
disowning
really
your
care
own
what the
child would be
definition is.
bullying them because of their sexuality?
I'm not bullying them. I'm not bullying my
By
child.
disowning them,
It's not bullying.
what is it?
Definitely not bullying.
What would you call it? If you disown your own child for being gay, something they couldn't possibly
I'd
help.
call it good
natural
parenting. That's what
sexuality.
I'd call it. I'd call it good parenting.
Really?
We clearly have different beliefs. I don't care what your belief is. If you grow up,
Well,
okay,
no, we don't actually.
you
We
work your
both
whole
come from a
life.
belief. We both come from the same belief, which is we were brought up by mothers who did not share this view. So actually,
No. What he maybe also means cultural belief as well as religious belief, not only mother-father kind of belief. It's the whole thing. If you are raised in a different culture, tradition, and religion, it shapes who you are and how you think about things like that. For example, in Islam itself, if you go, or in the Bible, if you read the Bible, if you read the Quran, you can clearly see what it does say and entitles. And if you are really religious, you're going to believe in that. So I kind of do understand what he means by it.
very similar. It's just you've taken a weird turn where your mother, who hates homophobia, has got a son who actually thinks it's perfectly okay to say you would disown your own child, your own son, if
How
they said
are
that.
we talking still about that throughout the whole interview? Why is he like focusing so much on it? He literally just said, I am not homophobic. I don't think I am. And then Piers is trying to like argue that he is and make him understand that he is by saying the same thing over and over again. He's not even explaining it in a different perspective. He's just repeating it. And what are we getting out of this?
They were gay. And
Would you be happy if you raised your son and your son came out gay? Would you be happy, Piers? Would you be happy, Piers, if you had one child, one son?
I wouldn't care less.
You wouldn't care?
No.
Okay, then that's your
because
beliefs.
Piers is
Me
a
and you have
Hollywood
totally different
actor,
beliefs.
star.
And I know that you're trying to double down on this point.
Yeah, but Harrison, why do you think your belief does not constitute homophobia?
Piers, we can all have a push and a shove. You might not agree with some of my points. I don't agree with some things that you do and the way that you act.
That's fine.
And I don't need to go into them. But if you want me to, and you want this to turn into something that it doesn't need to be, then we can all have a push and a shove.
I'm genuinely interested in how you felt this Netflix show went and the things that Louis Theroux had you saying on camera. I'm genuinely curious what you think about
more with the
way people have responded to them. Honestly, that's all I care about. I'm not here to trap you. I'm not here to put words in your mouth. I'm not here to do any of that kind of thing. I'm very aware that your fan base, whatever happens between you and I, it doesn't matter. You will have owned me, killed me, crushed me, destroyed me. Let's just accept that's a given. Okay? That is how these interviews always go, whether it's Andrew Tate, Nick Fuentes, whoever.
Do you know what I don't like, Piers? Do you know what I don't like?
Gaines in a minute. It'll be the same thing. So I assume. Let me just tell your followers. Harrison HS Tiki Doki has owned me, beaten me, defeated me.
Okay, listen. I respect.
This what Piers is saying and repeating. You own me, and you're Andrew Tate, and you're just like the others. Like, why is he specifying and pointing that and focusing on that right now instead of asking the real questions? Is this like the man ego in him speaking? You're like, why is that even important? If that was not important to you, and you have complete respect towards yourself, and you don't care, why are you repeating it over and over and over again? Just like to put it out there that we know you know, and that it doesn't faze you, but in reality it does, because you are literally talking about it over and over. It's not the first time he's mentioning it.
Guys, yeah, that have their own opinions, right? But I don't really respect, you trying to come on and say, oh, I'm homophobic and try and really push that point when I wouldn't say I'm homophobic at all.
Because that would be the title of the whole show.
Why you don't think disowning a child for being gay is homophobic?
What I do with my children is up to me. What I do with my children is up to me.
Of course.
Okay?
Of course.
I don't agree with you going to Epstein's Island and having freak-offs with Ghislaine Maxwell and the rest of them. But I don't.
Okay. He literally called it out. And I love that he did. Because yes, he was on the list. Piers Morgan was on Epstein's list. And we don't agree with that. But he didn't call it until now, by the way. Which is mad respect that he didn't even mention it earlier.
I don't need to bring it up.
I've never been to Epstein's Island.
I've never been to Epstein's Island. I was just on the list and there is no way of proving it, but you must trust my words. You must trust what I have to say. Listen, I don't know if he was or wasn't, but I believe that 99% of the people who were mentioned in that list were on the island. Okay, so especially if you were a Hollywood celebrity, a star, and people want to see you and flaunt you out there.
Misogyny,
just to be clear,
everything like this.
It doesn't mean that he was.
Harrison,
I don't agree with that,
sir. Just to be clear.
Freak-offs on the island.
Yes, nor do I. And as is
a stated
fact.
Are you sure?
Do you want to keep doing this? You'll make yourself look very stupid.
That's what you were doing, Piers, the whole time with the homophobic. So now he got you there. Now you shifted the whole conversation. You wanted it, now you get it.
Are you sure, Piers?
That I've never been to Jeffrey Epstein's island. I'm 100% positive. I never met the man, never went to his island.
I never met the man. Oh my God.
I met Ghislaine Maxwell for 5 minutes at a book launch. If you've got any supplementary
mentioned a lot of times.
No
mentioned
problem.
a lot of times in there, sir.
I have no problem. You're not, I don't think, if I say this very respectfully, I don't think you're very well informed about things like that. Or you wouldn't go there because it's...
Why are you in the files?
Why don't you check the 27 references to me in the files?
Why are you in the files, sir? Very close to these types of people.
Go and check. And all your followers, you can. The great thing about the Epstein files, you can put somebody's name in, And
You
can
like
see
to compare
everything that
me
comes up.
to Tate
I've
and
got no
Myron and everyone
problem
else.
discussing this.
So,
Harrison,
because my name is close to them in the manosphere. But if I compare you to Epstein and Maxwell, you have a clear problem with it.
I have no problem.
Sir,
Exactly. You are calling him. Listen, this is how Piers started calling him homophobic, putting him on in the same brackets as Andrew Tate and others influencers that he probably doesn't agree with, and you know their name and what it entitles. And now that he played the same game, Piers is annoyed. What? Fair is fair.
compare me to Myron and all the others.
Harrison,
are we about to get there?
Misogynistic, whatever world. I'm comparing you to Epstein then, because you're in his files.
Harrison,
exactly.
You're making yourself look an even bigger idiot than you did on the Netflix show.
Oh, really? Really? Yes. To people.
So now he just called him an idiot. How unprofessional.
People like you, sir. I don't mind that. You make yourself look like an idiot every single day when your wife is at home posting pictures that you're out and she wants to get used like a toy by a big black man who is cleaning her car. Is that why you have a problem with me? Is that why you're pushing this homophobic narrative? Because I'm the big black man that shagged your wife while you are on holiday. Okay?
And by the way, he is not making it up. She actually posted that. I will share some of her posts later if he doesn't show it here.
We can all have a push and a shove, sir. Let's go back to talking about the documentary and less of the homophobia.
Do you know what? Here's what I think about you. I watched the documentary. I think you're a fucking idiot. I think you're a sexist, misogynist, homophobic twerp who got exposed in a global way by Netflix, by Louis Theroux, for what you are. You're a little half-wit, and you'll make your little followers
don't get rattled.
A little laugh
don't get
and everything
rattled.
else. But I don't see any point wasting. There's no point me wasting my time talking to you. Is there? What's the point?
Exactly. No. Do you know what? Let's chill it down then, because what I just said, there's 50 more things that we can have a stupid back and forth and try and one up each other.
I don't
just
care
talk
about
to
your
me
silly
normally.
Insults.
Talk to me normally.
I don't care about your silly insults, but you are the one who insulted him so much more. The guy just said the truth. Yeah, in a bit disrespectful kind of way, but the guy didn't call you names. You know what I mean? Like, you, Piers, are the one who came out with that attitude. You are the one who started it all.
Talk to me normally.
I don't care about your silly insults.
But what do you mean you don't care? What do you mean you don't care? What I said is fact. I have a picture of it. I can flip it around and show you right now.
I couldn't care less about your silly little insults.
It's not an insult. It's real.
Why would I care?
A two-year-old. Listen, sir, I don't know why you come on and you talk like you're holier than thou. As soon as you're away,
all right, who's this?
Applications are open.
All right, let's just
that's your ting, bro. That's your girl.
That's his wife.
Cooked.
You know what? I'm not doing this. Sorry, guys. It's pointless.
Just left.
Adam, switch in just
left. It literally made
Tell him to come back on and we'll chill it out.
Laugh.
Tell him to come back on and we'll chill it out. But it's like, stop pushing this homophobic bullshit. You want to look holier than thou. Like, stop all that. Anyone can have a push and a shove. Tell him to come back on, talk to me respectfully. This is what I wanted him to come in real life, because he wouldn't speak like that to me unless, you know, it was through the camera. Like, talk to me face to face as a man, bringing up bullshit points. That's crazy. I didn't even want to bring up. I even said to him, don't, just leave me alone. Trying to push this homophobic bullshit.
Yeah, and like this whole show would be about homophobia, and then, like, you know, Piers Morgan is just trying to get some more credits with the LGBTQ community and uncensored my ass. Like, look what just happened right there. He called out his wife. By the way, he didn't say anything wrong. He literally said exactly who his wife is and what she does. And that's why it is so important to know who you are marrying. And if you think Piers Morgan was not unfazed, well, clearly he was. You can insult him however and how much you want, but once you mention his wife, oop, problems. I don't know if it is that he's scared that he will not say the right things to protect his wife because he has to go back to that wife there, or it really bothers him. And I think it's the latter. I think it bothers him and he is not doing anything about it because he is not the man or the one who's wearing the trousers in that house. That's why it is very important to choose the right partner. And for men, it is usually to choose the partner and the wife who knows her role. And for women, it is to know as a wife, you come with responsibilities. And what she has been doing for years now is so disrespectful towards Piers, who is also a public figure out there who has a business to keep and to keep her lifestyle within that business. When you are married, you don't only represent yourself, you represent the partner you are with. You represent your husband as a wife through the way you are speaking, the way you are acting, and most importantly, the way you are dressed. It all matters. And no, we are not gonna call it insecurities if the man questions it or has his own standards and expectations. We need to leave that out of it. It's not an insecure man if he actually has a thing or two to say about how you are dressed, what you are posting online, what you are saying online, and anywhere else. It is actually awareness, because men know how other men think. They know what that will entitle, what that will mean. And they know exactly what certain behavior will entitle and what it would actually signal to the outside world. So this clearly shows you how important it is as a wife to be careful what you do, what you say, how you behave in public, because it does reflect the person you are with. It does reflect who Piers Morgan is. Piers Morgan cares about what other men think. As every man, they care what their fellow men think. You cannot take that out of the equation. She has been posting over and over again really disrespectful things towards her husband. And she has been married to him since 2010, and these posts are like 3 years old, by the way. So being married for a decade and more with someone and then posting stuff like that, it's so shameful. So these are some of the posts that I found on her Instagram, and the funny thing is that they are still there. She didn't even delete them. She didn't even private them. She just kept them. So that really tells you how important it is for her what Piers think. That is her husband. For example, we have this picture of a guy actually cleaning the car wearing Speedos or whatever, and this is the description. When the husband's away, Mr. Suds comes to play. Hashtag you missed the spot. Hashtag everyday sexism. Hashtag not an object. Hashtag but I want to be. Not an object, but I want to be. Okay, cool. 2019 posted. 2020, a picture with this guy. Reading Lenny's brilliant memoir and thinking back to a sunny Saturday in Paris, he was taking a 3-year vow of abstinence at the time. Shame. Hashtag let love rule. All over him, by the way. Couldn't be more. Not her husband. And then this picture, which is actually, okay, fine. Normal kind of picture. She's eating a hot dog, which you know what that entitles. But she made sure that we know in the description as well. When Mr. Sizzles on Brighton Piers asks if you want the normal or the XXL, there's only ever going to be one answer. Yeah, I'm sure we are not talking about hot dogs here. And the picture that he pulled out is this one, where she is sitting in her bikini, lying down with an actual message below that says, wanted pool boy, no experience needed. And then the description says, applications now open. 2022, 12 years after marriage. I guess, I don't know if they're married 2010 or not, but I know they have been married for really long. And one of the recent ones that she published, 2025 in June, is a picture of her being carried by 3 men with the description, thank you for your service. By the way, like they are holding her in every kind of way. Her boobs are literally next to that man's face. Thank you for your service. Really? Was it really necessary for you to be carried by these men? And are we talking about the exact same service that they have been servicing the country? Because I'm not sure. All of these are entitling something really erotic and something really sexist. We don't have to be geniuses. I don't have to be the smartest person alive to know what you are trying to say. That's what I think. This is not all right. This is not how a wife should be behaving, especially if her husband is a celebrity, a well-known person who is bringing people out there who are toxic and can be triggering. All right, his whole job is putting down people, trying to be on a pedestal, trying to be better than them, showing them like, what's the point? If this is how you are treating your husband and this is what you are representing, then he is going to lose every single argument from now on. And I genuinely don't think things are going to change. She is not going to change. He is not going to change. Divorce is not coming. Yeah. He's just going to have to live through it for the rest of his life because this diminishes the uncensored interviews that he is making. I am sorry, but if you are not going to talk about this and you are not going to address it and you're going to move on as if nothing has happened on an uncensored show that is clearly censored, your image is broken. This is not ending well for him. At least that is my opinion, and I hope he's going to be called out, she's going to be called out, and things are going to be mentioned in future episodes of Uncensored. But yeah, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. And if you want more videos like this, make sure to leave a like, subscribe for more. Sorry, guys, I didn't mean to bump you. I love you. There we go. And yeah, see you next time. Bye.